you will discover that you are a multicolored animal. If I look at my life, I see the things that I had done in time past, and I see how God still selected me, how God still chose me, okay, and make something beautiful out of my life. I just know that no, this is what Jesus only can do. So just episode 12 of Unveiling Christ through the Scriptures, and again today the searchlight remains on the life of Jacob. You know, in the last episode I shared how Jacob had to go to Laban to say, when shall I take care of my own family? Give me my inheritance. And then struck a deal with Laban to take all of the animals that are speckled, spotted as his own, and then Laban will take the animals that are just white or black without spots or that are not speckled. And of course I shared with us how he was able to make use of the wood, which is symbolic of the cross, and how when the animals are about to mate, he just showed them the wood inside the water, and then they're able to give birth to animals that are speckled and spotted. All right, so today I just want to go back to the tradition in the Middle East, of which Israel was also is also one of the countries in the Middle East. Yeah, so the tradition is that the elders only believed in having either a white sheep, a white goat, a black sheep, or a purely black goat. Anything outside of that is seen as that are speckled, that are spotted. They see it as an anomaly. So they are not animals that are reckoned with in the light of that. So they are not animals that are reckoned with. Animals that are multicolored, they are viewed as genetic anomalies. So they are deemed undesirable. They are deemed to be flawed. They are deemed to be blemished. So normally Jacob should not have even requested for that kind of animal. Jacob should have requested for animals that are either white or black as his inheritance. And no wonder when he requested for that, Laban did not argue, because to him he just felt that this was a good deal. The same way Abraham did not argue with his nephew now, Lot, okay, did not argue with Lot when he said, okay, this place cannot contain us again, pick anywhere what, and Lot chose the green part, the part he felt that his own animal will enjoy, chose it, and then went in that direction, not knowing that he was going in the direction of the world, ended up in Sodom, and then the rest is history. He nearly lost everything. He lost his wife in the process and escaped as one that just escaped fire. So the same thing, Laban did not argue, because it was a fair deal. After all, he was going to have the best of animals like that. So but you see, this is where the dots get connected when you consider what Jacob did in line with Christ. You see, the same way Jacob explicitly chose unwanted multicolored animals as his own inheritance, it is the same way that Jesus also chose all of us. Okay, Jesus also chose to redeem those of us who are outcasts, those of us who were not part of the commonwealth of Zion, those of us who were Gentiles, those of us who are sinners, those of us who are deemed to be with blemish by worldly standards, those of us who have nothing, who should not be a partaker of the commonwealth of Zion. Jesus came for us. So in choosing, Jesus chose the worst of us, and then he came for us. The same way Jacob went for blemish animals, went for animals that were spotted, animals that were streaked, animals that were considered genetic anomaly, animals that, by genetics they are considered undesirable. Jesus came for us. Jacob chose those animals. The same way Jesus also came for those of us who are with blemish, those of us who are considered useless by worldly standards. That's why when Jesus will come and Jesus will select his disciples, normally he should have gone for the Pharisees, because by worldly standards they are the ones that are holy. They are the white sheep, they are the animals with the good color. Okay, they are not multicolored animals by worldly standard. But Jesus bypassed them and went for multicolored animals. Went for Peter with all his weaknesses, Jesus chose him. Jesus went for Matthew, who was a tax collector. Jesus chose him. Jesus went for Thomas, the doubting Thomas. Jesus chose him. Jesus went for people who's got anger problem. He selected all of them and see what he made out of their lives. And that's the love of God. And that's what we are saying, that Jacob's life, what Jacob did, can be compared to how Jesus selected us. If you look at yourself, you look at your life and my life, you will discover that you are a multicolored animal. If I look at my life, I see the things that I had done in time past, and I see how God still selected me, how God still chose me, okay, and make something beautiful out of my life. I just know that no, this is what Jesus only can do. So just like Jacob went for multicolored animal, blemished animal, the same way Jesus came for those of us who are multicolored, those of us who had blemish, those of us who were considered genetic anomalies, those of us who were not even considered to be important by worldly standard, those of us who had come from families where people had said, can anything good come out of these ones? Yeah, Jesus came came for us and he redeemed us. He came for us. He came for you and me, and he redeemed us and made our life beautiful. I think we should be grateful to God all the days of our lives. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you and God bless you.